Good afternoon, everybody. Today's going to be a quick one because, as I usually say, I've not learned how to edit videos on YouTube. It's one of my to-do list items. So I had to prep most of my card off screen. So the prompt this week for the full deck challenge is thread. So I have done some sewing. As you can see. And so all I'm going to do now is, this was last week's card. And it was repeat, and that was down here. I added some splatter to it that wasn't in the video because I felt like it was missing something. But what I'm bringing over from this card is the yellow circles. These here are yellow circles, and I've brought a couple more over. And then, of course, my constant is the label, which I already have on there and down. And then this is one of the final additions to the card. It's a bowl of ramen, which I've been craving this week. And I had this patch. It's a patch for a jacket or something, or jeans or whatever, but it's sewn on there with thread, so I felt like it fit, because sometimes these are embroidered, but I think this is actually a sewn thing and it's not real embroidery, because embroidery is done with string. Like the egg looks like it's been embroidered on, and maybe these, but this has not been embroidered. This is what looks like fabric. Anyway, I was trying to stick with the thread theme. Plus I had kind of come across this and I was like, oh, I'm going to use that on a card. Anyway, I'm going to do some brown splatter on this card. Just get one of my papers out. I got this ink. It's actually Umbra. I think it's burnt umbre. But all of these are in a different language. Anyway, my Michaels doesn't carry very many of these inks because I know there's quite a few colors you can get, but I like the way they splatter. It's very the consistency's already good on them, and that's what I like, because when I have to mix them together myself, it's so questionable as to whether I get the consistency right or too thick. So I really like to use these inks for splatter work. And then I'm going to stick this guy on. So anyway, it's a short one today because I was not going to sew in front of you guys because, yeah. At some point over the next few months, I'm going to be working on the whole editing thing. Because I've heard that it's easy in some cases and it's hard in other cases, and I don't know. So if anybody has any recommendations on what editing software they use, I would love to know, because I've heard so many different things about editing, and I don't do complicated videos, but it would have been nice to show how I laid everything out and then came back with it sewed. So because there's paper here, the background, and these are yellow. This yellow paper is something I painted with watercolor. And then this blue paper was out of my junk envelope. I believe they are well, I mean, I know it's the paper off of chopsticks, which I was using chopsticks, so I thought that was pretty. And then I just like to be able to show you my process a little better. But on this one, so yeah, if anyone watching this has an editing program that they use for YouTube, I would love to know what it is, because I don't know where to sort of start with that. Sorry, I was trying to see if you could still get some off of there. It looks like it's, put that on my cloth. And then I have I have this thing that says enjoy today, and I had it here and I kind of liked it in the middle. Let me see. Maybe over there. Because this is a little bit thicker, I didn't think it would. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the card is unfinished without some kind of little something. So do I like that there? Or are you guys telling me don't put it there? I just don't want it so close to this up here because that's my thread thing. I think as far as it goes, I like it in the middle the best. Yep, so there is my card for week 24, prompt thread. You can see you can see the sewing thread. I tried to go across this thing so that you could really see the thread. There's a little bit of thread hanging down. This thing has thread that's keeping it together. And I think like I said, I think some of this is embroidered, but some of it is also like, this is not single threads. I don't think. I don't know though. I don't know how they do patches. I know a lot of them are embroidered, so. And like I said, the yellow circle is my carryover from last week, but it could also be the splattering, because I did do that on last week's. And then my constant is a label, which is right there. Yeah. So there we go. Oh yeah, I turned this over too because the light on the other one was weird today. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for joining me today. Like I said, it was a quick one. And I hope you're all having a really great crafty afternoon, and I'll see you next time. Bye.